Hi guys, I'm Jamie. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to talk about intentions and intention setting today. So, what is an intention? My definition that I wrote for you guys today here is that an intention is a declaration of intent to yourself and to the universe. And it's really our way of just putting out into the world what our intent is in terms of who we want to be and what we want to bring to the world or to ourselves. Intentions are based in values. And so if you've never done a practice of identifying what your core values are, that's something that might be beneficial to you. There's lots of tools out there on the internet that can help you go through words and narrow down to your top values in your life. But you probably have some ideas in your mind here just today about your values. Maybe identifying values around your own health and wellness, values around justice or social justice, values around community care, love, and the environment. So you might spend a few moments thinking over that here if you'd like, or again later maybe just go find one of those websites that can offer you a little worksheet or something you can go through, or at least a list. It can help to kind of see all these words and really think about what is the most important to me. And so once you've got an idea of your values, we're using our intentions based in those values, and they're going to create a statement about who we are as people, about how we show up in the world for ourselves and for others. And so once you've identified values, that's when you can really sit down and say, okay, now I want to create an intention that I'm going to live my life by, or that I'm going to live my day by, or my week by, whatever it may be, however long of a period of time you're looking to set that intention for. There's not a right or wrong way to do that, but it's really just about creating something that reflects what is truly important to you, and what's truly important to you for yourself, for the people you love, for your community, for your country, for your world, all of that. And what I hear sometimes from people is that, they're like, oh, I'm already doing that. I have lots of goals that I've set. Well, there's a difference between a goal or a resolution and then an intention. And the biggest difference is that goals and resolutions tend to have this very specific sort of ending point to them. It's achievement. So for example, a lot of people have goals around maybe weight loss, where it's, I want to lose 5 pounds this month. So you either achieve that goal or you don't, right? At the end of the month, you can say, I did it or I didn't do it. You can check it off the list or not. Maybe you say, I want to, get a job where I'm making X amount of money by this date. Or I want to, meet my significant other and fall in love by this time. Like, those are sort of more goal-based. And when we're talking about intentions, they are not really a destination that we're headed to in terms of something that we're going to arrive at and then be done. They're really, again, they're based in our life values and how we are living our life. So while we can set intentions that are specific to a day, like you could set a daily intention for sure, and that's still going to be based in your value system, and it's still not necessarily going to be something that you feel like you've completely achieved at the end of the day and then you're done with it. But it might just be where you want to focus your attention for that day. So, for example, you want to keep intentions in the present tense. So whereas with a goal, we would say, I want to lose 5 pounds by X date. With an intention, we're going to state it as if it is already happening. I am doing this thing. And then the second part is that we want to keep it positive. So when we say, I want to lose 5 pounds, there's sort of a negative connotation there, and that we are saying that we aren't acceptable as we are. We're not good enough as we are. We could be better. Whereas with an intention, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it really positive. And then lastly, we want to keep it short and focused. So don't try to cram all your values into one intention. You can make lots of different intentions and just sort of keep it very simple. and focused in on one thing as you write them. You can write a million intentions, right? So you don't need to put everything into one. So I know that was a lot of information, and so what I want to do is kind of show you how you can convert goals into intentions. Not that you have to do intentions that way, but I think it'll help the understanding of the wording of intentions as well as what makes them different from goals. So going back to that goal of I want to lose 5 pounds by the end of the month. So a really good intention in that same sort of realm of health and caring for yourself would be, I live a healthy and active lifestyle. So you can see that is putting it in the present tense. It's stating it like it's already happened or happening. It's not a destination that we're trying to get to. We're not going to check it off one day and be like, oh, I did that, I'm done with it. It's like, that's what we're doing. That's the on the go forward. We're living an active and healthy lifestyle. And it's also nice and positive, gives us that positive spin, and then short, focused. It's about kind of one thing, easy to remember, right? So that's going to be important too. Another one, so if our goal was to meet and fall in love with somebody by X date. So if we wanted to turn that into an intention, we might say, my heart is open to give and receive love. So again, we've kind of shifted that, and now we're simply creating an intention around this value of love and being open-hearted and acknowledging that giving love is equally important as receiving love. And it no longer becomes this final destination we're trying to get to of, okay, I met someone and now I'm getting married. That's going to be an ongoing. We need to keep our heart open. We need to keep being open to giving and receiving love. A third one, again, just to keep this going with the examples I already gave, if it was to, I want to find a job and I want to be making this much money by this date. We want to spin that because, we're kind of putting that negative. I'm not good enough right now. I'm not making enough. I have this goal, this final destination I'm trying to arrive at. We can spin that and say, maybe the work that I do fulfills and supports me. So you can see that might not actually be the case right now. Maybe that's not the experience that you're having, but we're still going to state it like it is. We're still saying it as if that's what's happening for us. So that is really the basis of intentions. You can't fail at intentions the way you can at a goal. And I think that's, why I like them and why I think they're really important. They're sort of these building blocks or these little steps in our lives that we're able to follow so that we stay on a track that we feel proud of and where we remain true to who we are. I think it's easy to shift off of that if we don't really understand what our values and what our intentions in life are. It's easy to be swayed and, but I could go do this job where I'm going to make, $1 million this year, but maybe I wouldn't really feel good about it. But if you know that your intention is the work I do fulfills and supports me, so we have that fulfills in there too, then we know, well, maybe that isn't really the right path for me because that's not going to leave me feeling good about the work I'm doing. I hope that makes sense. Another thing that I want you to think about is that your intentions don't get to control other people. And impact is more important than intention. So you hear this a lot, I think, said in different aspects of life where maybe somebody hurts somebody or does something that is hurtful and so, well, my intention was good. It's going to happen. We're all going to, that's going to happen to all of us at times, but it's really important to think about when you're setting an intention, what is the impact of that intention around you? And to remember that is also very important, because if we are negatively affecting other people or the environment or our community in some way, then that's not a positive intention after all, even if we kind of worded it that way and we think it is. Something to keep in mind when you're intention setting. So to recap all of that, just remember that intentions are based in values and that they are these stepping stones in our life to help keep us on track to get where we're going. And you cannot fail at an intention, because even if you kind of fall off of that and you aren't living that intention in exactly the way you had hoped to, you can always get back on that track. It's always available to you to just step right back on there. So you never have to feel like you missed the mark like you do with a goal. Some suggestions for what you might want to do after you've written an intention. You can always keep it somewhere where you might read it every day, or maybe take a post-it and stick it up somewhere where you can come across it every day and read it. You can use that intention and set that into crystals, or hopefully I'll do a little video about that at some point. You could use your intention in lots of different ways and experience it in lots of ways. So maybe it becomes part of a meditation for you. Lots of things you can do with intentions, but most importantly, just remembering to keep them in mind and to check back in with them from time to time. I have an intention setting worksheet that I created that helps take you through all the steps, and it's free for you if you go to my website, which is jamierye.com, and sign up for my email list. It will send it right to you. You'll receive that worksheet. So it's a great tool to have to help you in this intention setting process. And I'm looking forward to doing more videos like this. If there's anything that you would like to hear about that I might be able to offer you, you can always let me know in the comments. And I hope that I will get to connect with each of you virtually here again in the future. Thanks for joining me today.